Hello there, friends. This is Jimmie Maverick, and after doing so awesome on that draft last night, I got to get ready for another one because I got one tomorrow. This is a league that I've been participating in for the past 5 years or so. I have won 2 out of the past 4 seasons, so that's pretty good. It is a standard points league where quarterbacks get 6 points per touchdown, so that's a big boost to their value. And we're going to go ahead. We're going to use my app, My Perfect Fantasy Draft, to help us pick players. By the way, I'm going to be picking 10th in a 12-team league. So let's see what kind of team we can build. So we're going to go use my app, My Perfect Fantasy Draft. You just need to go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. You can check it out there. You get the app here. You subscribe to it. It's good for 1 year, unlimited access, and you can use it on as many fantasy drafts as you are in. I still have 4 drafts to go here at the very end of the season here. I always like to wait as long as possible to get my players. Now, okay, so we can see that they are a minute and a half till it starts here. So we already have it set up. I have it set up for the Aftermath League. Again, it is a standard points, but because of the extra points for quarterbacks, have to account for that. So I use the custom feature over here on the league point schedule, and I created the league point schedule for this draft. So you can see that quarterbacks have a lot of value here. There's a lot more value because of the extra points for the touchdowns. So that's very good. And let's go ahead and get this thing set up for draft mode. So we're going to do 12-team league, picking 10th. And let's go ahead and enter draft mode and see what we get. So you can see here, you got the player list right here. You got recommendations right here. I'm just going to minimize those recommendations so we just see the names. Position filters up top, round filters here. So we just need to click on one. And the app is recommending for our first pick, Travis Kelce. David Johnson, that's interesting. Would he really be available this late? That is actually kind of surprising, but well, I guess he is. Yeah, I guess he's kind of been moving down the list. Juju Smith-Schuster as well. So we got some options there. I do always like to go running back first. James Conner is my top-ranked running back available, but he's a long shot. That's what this gun means, long shot. But David Johnson, there's Dalvin Cook, Le'Veon Bell, Ezekiel Elliott, both long shots on this round. I bet I don't get them, but we'll see what happens here. This should move pretty quickly once the draft starts. Now, I want to let you know that in drafts, I don't typically track individual players. What I'm doing here is this app uses an algorithm to determine the most likely placement of all the players on the draft list. And when you engage draft mode and you're looking, because we're here at round 1, what we're looking at is we're looking at all the players between our first round pick and our second round pick. So second round pick is pick number 15. First round pick is pick 10. So when you look at this draft position thing, we're looking at all the picks between pick number 6 and pick number 16. So there's a little bit of overlap on each side. But the players are sorted by their VORC score, which stands for value, outlook, reliability, and consistency. It's these 4 key stats right here, these 4 columns, and based on how they score, they get points. And then those points are added up, and that gets you your VORC score. It's ranked according to that. I also very heavily use the value column to determine if a player is a good choice or a bad choice for a particular draft. So it's all designed to help you and give you critical pieces of information that you need to make the right decision on draft day. So let's go ahead and get some of these guys queued up. So we'll get Kelce, Johnson, Schuster. There's Johnson. There's Kelce. There's Schuster. And I think that's good for the first round. We also can start looking at the second round here because it's going to be a quick turnaround. Recommending Todd Gurley, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans. These are all good options here. So, and I know that Gurley is buried on this board. Look, they got him buried at 33, which is nuts. He's never going that early. Hill, Tyreek, it's a great option. Who else do we got? Mike Evans. Love Mike Evans. Right, we'll get him queued up. It's almost our pick now. So there we go. So let's see who's available. Look at that. David Johnson is available. He did make it to us. I very much like that pick. Other guys, we got Devontae Adams, who I love. Julio, Dalvin Cook, Odell Beckham, not as hot on those guys. But let's absolutely take David Johnson here at this point in the draft. That's a great deal. Last year he was the 10th best running back overall, and we're getting him at pick number 10. So that's pretty darn good. And we will wait and see what happens on the interim. I invite you to go and look at some of my other mock drafts. I've been doing them every day, just seeing where players are going, and they move around so much. And also depends on how the draft board is ranking those players. So this app is optimized for the Yahoo platform. That's where I play most of my leagues. And so it's, if you draft on Yahoo, you're going to be at an absolute advantage over your opponents on draft day because you're going to get the right player at the right time. Now, in the second round, I always like to go with an elite wide receiver. It's just part of my strategy, and all these guys are great. Juju, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, they all offer amazing value. Gurley also has great value on this list, and he is still on the board, or did he go? I think he got selected, so we don't have him. But look, Tyreek overall value, 9th overall. Juju Smith-Schuster. Oh, I got to make my decision. I'm going to take Hill just because I want the upside there. And that's great. 2 guys with top 10 value in our first 2 picks. And now we got a little bit of a breathing room to go to the third round because we got pick number 34. So we got a little while here. So at this point, we need to focus on what players are available at this round. There's a whole bunch of guys that are going between pick 2 and pick 3, but we don't need to worry about most of them. We've got the long shots that'll appear here, the guys that are most likely to make it to the next round, but you can see that it's recommending Brandon Cooks, Marlon Mack, David Montgomery. These guys are all great choices at this point in the draft. So let's just go and queue them all up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video, and I'll come back when we're right at our next pick. We'll make our decision. We'll see who's available and go from there. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. It came back to me very quickly. So you can see that we've got Brandon Cooks, David Montgomery. It looks like our one other pick did get taken. Oh, no, Marlon Mack is still there. And Marlon Mack is actually a reach. I'm going to take David Montgomery for the upside. I just love the upside of that player. And I'm hoping we can get either Mack or Carson on the next round. Carson should have gone a little bit on the prior round, but his value rank is 16th overall because of the standard points format. Leonard Fournette was also a favorite of mine, but he got taken. Look, Josh Jacobs just got taken after that. But I'd be happy with either of these guys. And to go into this season with David Johnson, David Montgomery, and Chris Carson, I think would be just colossal. That would be an amazing coup to have those as your top 3 running backs in a standard points league. So we will be in great shape. And it looks like we're going to be able to get him. Carson was listed as a long shot on the 3rd round. So to get him as the 4th round pick is quite a steal. So we will go ahead and we'll take Carson over Mack by miles because Mack's value is only 30th, right? So we're getting another guy with a value rank in the teens. So we are well set up right now with our 3 running backs. I would like to get maybe one more in the next round if we can swing it. So next round, who's available? We got Tevin Coleman, Duke Johnson, Miles Sanders. Guys that are they don't offer great value. You look at we're going to be at pick 58. These guys offer value that's higher. The value rank is higher than our pick. And so that means they're overvalued relative to our draft position. That makes them less likely for me to want them. We can look at tight ends here. Evan Ingram, Hunter Henry, again, terrible value relative to the draft position. Wide receivers, though, if only Robbie Anderson wasn't dealing with that injury, man, I'd take him. Tyler Boyd would be a great choice here. He's a nice value. Calvin Ridley also offers very nice value. His outlook isn't very good though, and he's a reach. We could gamble on him making it to the next round, which is easy to do when it's a short turnaround like where we're at in the draft. But let's go ahead and let's look at the 4th round running backs. Anyone that might make it back to us? Probably not. It might be good for us to switch to a wide receiver. Let's look at the next round for running backs. Next round, okay, so round 6 for running backs, we got lots of options. So you got Devin Singletary, big news on him today. Matt Breida also has good news that happened with him. Phillip Lindsay, good value players here. So I think we should wait till the 6th round to get our next running back. We'll use this to get our wide receiver. So we can queue up Boyd, and let's also see on this round who really qualifies as good value. Josh Gordon. Lots of these guys just don't have great value. Alshon Jeffrey is not a bad choice. Let's get some wide receivers queued up. So we've got, let's see here. So there's Calvin Ridley. There's Robbie Anderson. Like I said, I would take Robbie Anderson in a second if he wasn't injured. Josh Gordon is not a bad choice. Let's see here. These guys I don't expect to make it to the next round. There's Curtis Samuel, but he offers pretty lousy value. Anybody else here that would be of interest? Oh, and there's Tyler Boyd. Let's put Boyd on there, but he's probably not going to make it to us. So I'm just going to pause the video. We'll come back when it's our pick. All right, so it's almost back to our pick now. Boyd is still on the board. He is a long shot for this round. He would be a great steal if we can get him. But we also got Ridley and Jeffrey queued up. I also queued up some of the running backs, and it looks like Philip Lindsay was taken, but Singletary's still there, Coleman, Duke Johnson. I queued all those guys up as well. So, all right, so we weren't lucky with Boyd. Boyd did get taken. Calvin Ridley or Alshon Jeffrey. Calvin Ridley, value rank 54. Alshon Jeffrey, 51. I'm going to go with Alshon Jeffrey, and this is our second wide receiver, so that's a nice depth play. Then let's see here. As far as the 6th round, again, Philip Lindsay's already gone. Oh, Matt Breida, Jarvis Landry. Let's get Breida on there as well. Breida and Jarvis. Get him queued. So we got lots of options here to work with. Let's see here. Anybody else on the running backs that I'm particularly interested in? Royce is all right, but again, overvalued. Drake's injured. Coleman, is not a bad choice here. Did I queue up Coleman? I don't know if I did or not. He might already. No, I did get him queued up. All right. So I think if we're going to go with somebody as our 4th, this is going to be our 4th quarterback. So this is a depth play. Duke Johnson just got taken. So I like the idea of going with Singletary. He's got a lot of momentum right now, man. The only person in front of him is Frank Gore. 35-year-old Frank Gore is in front of him. So, and they just cut LaShawn McCoy today. So he is, again, kind of below everybody's radar on this list because he's still buried on the depth chart. I moved him way up on that news, and so we're going to take him now so we don't miss on him later. So Singletary, Coleman, Breida, these are all good choices, but I like Singletary the best. Value rank on Singletary, 41. All right, so we are getting good value here at pick 63, nearly 2 rounds of value. So I think we're great there. So let's go to the 7th round now. Got a little bit of a wait. We definitely want to turn back to wide receivers, and we want to look at wide receivers and tight ends. So as far as tight ends go, David Njoku's kind of the best choice here. What on the 8th round? Austin Hooper. Let's target Austin Hooper for the 8th. For wide receivers, again, because it's such a short turnaround, we can look at both the 7th and 8th round for receivers. So we got some great choices. Okay, so Sterling Shepard, Sammy Watkins, both those guys are great. So let's get Shepard and Watkins and Njoku and Hooper on the queue for the next round. So I will go ahead and I'll do that. We'll just pause. We'll be right back when it's our pick. All right, so it's almost back to our pick. You can see Matt Breida still on the board. Oh, did someone took my tight end? Oh, okay, so we're going to have to figure that out. Waited just a little bit too long. This is why you mock, right? You mock to figure this stuff out. But we do need a 3rd wide receiver. This draft actually rosters 3 wide receivers. So to have Shepard with Hill and Jeffrey, that's a great core of wide receivers. And now let's go and we'll look at tight ends. Look, Mark Andrews. Okay, you know what? I will take Mark Andrews. And maybe if I'm super duper lucky, I could also grab Lamar Jackson on the next round as my quarterback, stack those guys. But I'm fine with taking Mark Andrews. I think he's going to be a decent choice. Ebron, Rudolph, not really as interested. Walker, old guy coming off a big injury. Reed can't stay healthy. And then you got like the rookies and stuff. So I don't want to deal with that. Mark Andrews is kind of like the last best option if you're going late on a tight end. And I'm okay with going with Andrews because I think our running backs and our wide receivers are just supreme right now. So they're doing really, really good. So it is almost back to us here. we'll go ahead and we'll draft Andrews as our tight end. And now let's jump to the 9th round. So 9th round, who's it recommending? Well, okay, so some high upside guys. Look at this: Darwin, Thompson, Tony Pollard, who I'm not as big on right now. They're saying that the contract issue with Zeke is going to get resolved. If that happens, he's back to being a backup. Mark Andrews. Okay, so we took Mark Andrews around early. I'm totally fine with that. I don't want to get sniped on him. But let's see here. So if we look at running backs, let's definitely put Darwin on the queue. And let's look at the 10th round as well. So 10th round running backs, Darrell Henderson too. So we'll get Darwin and Darrell on there. Wide receivers, let's take a look. So Fitzgerald, Marquez, MVS, those are 2 good choices, so I like them. Quarterbacks, let's look at quarterbacks. So we got Dak Prescott, Phillip Rivers, Mitch Trubisky, Roethlisberger, Winston. I think we're going to need to take a quarterback on the next round. We don't want to wait too long on a quarterback. If we miss, then it goes down to Trubisky and Garoppolo and, there's Brady, but I don't want to miss on a quarterback. So we'll definitely use one of our 2 picks on a QB next, plus one of those 4 guys. So let me just pause the video. I'll be right back when it's our turn. All right, so it's almost back to us. Check it out. Matt Breida still on the board, but I have put in Darrell Henderson and Darwin Thompson. I think Darwin is going to be my first pick. And we've still got good choices with quarterbacks. I'm not concerned with a bunch getting taken in the off time. So let's go ahead. We'll take Darwin with this pick, and then we're going to grab our quarterback. Phillip Rivers looks like he's going to be the one we're going to take. I do like Dak Prescott as well. I think they're both excellent choices. Phillip Rivers, though, that offense I think is just better. And the fact that you get 6 points for passing touchdowns, that just adds to the value of pocket passers like Rivers. So I trust that. Kyler Murray, not really interested in rookie quarterbacks. Jameis Winston, too many interceptions for me to worry about. So I think Phillip Rivers is the choice here, and he will be a fine quarterback for this fantasy team. I'm quite sure of it. Now, something else just to mention here is when you are in these kind of drafts, I only take 1 tight end, 1 quarterback, 1 defense, and 1 kicker. That's all you need. Every other player you should take should be running backs and wide receivers. Take as many running backs as you can. This system actually has a limit of 6. We've already taken 5, so we can only take 1 more. And then we'll just finish loading up on wide receivers. So Rivers, welcome to the team. We've got a very, very good team happening right now. Let's jump to the 11th round. And in the 11th round, it's recommending Kalen Ballage. That's a guy who has some upside. Dallas Cowboys defense. Let's see here. Who else do we have on? Is there anybody? Not really a lot of other players, but again, it's the short turnaround. So let's go also look at the 12th round. We'll definitely put Ballage on the queue. Damian Harris, that's a guy I like. Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins. We're not going to take a second quarterback. Let's see here. Who else? The Patriots. That's another defense to consider. Jalen Samuels. That is a guy that I like. And I'm looking basically at guys with at least a 3-star outlook. These 1 and 2-star outlook guys, very poor outlook. Not any upside there. They're going to sit on your bench until you get frustrated and you cut them onto the waiver wire. So don't even bother. I'm looking strictly at high-end, upside players here. So let's we'll get Samuels and Ballage queued up. We'll also, I don't even want to queue up these defenses. We'll take a defense with our second to last pick. So I'll queue up both those guys. And as far as wide receivers go, any wide receivers? No, look at these terrible wide receivers this round. I'm not interested in any of those guys. So I'll queue those guys up. I'll pause the video. We'll come back. We'll see you. All right, so we're almost back. I cannot believe this. Breida is still on the board. If he comes to us, he'll be our 6th running back. Oh no, of course he just got taken. That you can't pass that up. Look, MVS right now is still available as well, much later than expected. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take MVS, and we will grab one of these running backs as our last running back. We got Ballage, Harris, Samuels, Hill, and Williams. I like all these guys. I kind of wanting Hill on every team that I can get him on, and I've been sniped in both my drafts so far. So I think I'm going to take Hill as our 6th running back. And then I think, let's see here, how many more slots do we have? We'll only have 1 more bench slot, so we'll take 1 more wide receiver. And I already queued up Tyrell Williams to be that receiver. And I think we are in good shape. This is a damn fine team. This would be a great team to take into the season with me. So I hope I draft this well tomorrow at the big draft. But this is what you need to do to win, man. This is what it comes down to. So I hope you see the value in the app and how it's, I mean, one of the big things I think that's the biggest help about it is breaking that list down. And when you look at the second round players, you're looking at all the players, basically that pool of players, basically all those players will be gone by your third pick. And so it makes it very easy for you to focus on these are the players you need to look at and really assess for value. Now, occasionally, there will be a value guy like Matt Breida, right, or Marquez Valdes-Scantling that falls from a prior round into your current round. That's great. That's why I use the cue is to keep them on my radar. Justice, you're on the team, and hopefully, if it comes back and we can get Tyrell, let's just look at the next round of receivers because after Tyrell, it kind of peters out. But we are heading into the 13th round, so receivers in the 13th round, nothing really here. 14th round, yeah, see, there's Tyrell Williams, John Brown, James Washington, Mecole Hardman. Mecole would also be a great choice. So let me get those guys queued up. We'll just come back when it's our pick. You know what I'm going to do, actually? I'm just going to pause the video. I'll take the final 3 picks, which will be the defense, the kicker, and this last receiver, and we'll review the team. And like I said, it looks damn good. This is a damn good team. Again, just rocking the draft board right now, dominating the draft board. These are the kind of teams that are instantaneously playoff contenders. So anyway, I'm just going to pause the video and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. So let's review this team. So quarterback, Phillip Rivers. I think he's a perfectly good choice as a low-end QB1 on a great offense. That's what you want. Wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Alshon Jeffrey, Sterling Shepard, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Tyrell Williams. That is a great core of wide receivers. I'm very comfortable with that heading into the season. Running backs, David Johnson, David Montgomery, Chris Carson, Devin Singletary, Darwin Thompson, and Justice Hill. So we got the great combination of high upside RB1s, workhorses or near workhorses on their teams with high upside guys. Singletary, they still haven't even adjusted his projections yet. Look, they still got him at 36 points. He is the number 2 behind Frank Gore, and Frank Gore is not going to carry a full load at age 35. So he is going to get the majority of the work. Darwin Thompson and Justice Hill are both huge upside players that have tremendous value at this and worth late round picks for your team. I ended up taking Dallas as my defense, Giorgio Teveccio as my kicker, but overall, this is a fantastic team. I would love to take this team into the season with me. Very well catered to this standard points league, and the nice depth at wide receiver really helps. I mean, having these 5 guys on any given week, I could start any 5 of these guys. So we are in good shape. So that's it. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you liked the video. And if you haven't done so already, please go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. That's where you can access the app. The app is a web-based app, so you just, any browser on any web-connected device, you can access the app and utilize it wherever you may be. So it's very handy. It gets updated every day. Like just today, we had to massively upgrade Devin Singletary, and we had to remove LaShawn McCoy because he got cut from the list. So that makes adjustments all across the board. You've got injuries happening, upgrades and downgrades. What's going to happen with Zeke? If Zeke signs his contract, Tony Pollard becomes, just basically a handcuff and has no value. So that will be reflected as well in the app. And this is going to be continually updated here for the final week of the preseason. And, basically is designed to set you up to have success for your fantasy team. If you watch the video I posted yesterday of the live draft I did for the FFPC, the team I drafted extremely strong. The most projected points in week 1, which is always a very good sign for the upcoming season. It is just stacked. You can watch the draft, how the draft rolled out, and how I found the value using the tool and queuing up the players and making it happen. And I'm telling you, it works. It works great. It's going to work for your team. Give it a try. You will love it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe, comment, if you have anything to say, like it, and stay tuned, man. There's more drafts to come. We still got drafts until Thursday. So have yourself a great day, and happy drafting, everybody.